This video is brought to you by G2A.com. Check out the link in the description for cheap games. Ho, ho, ho. It's almost Christmas and Santa Frags comes bearing gifts of joy. Rainbow Six has had a patch improving the gameplay experience. Baby Jesus has done it again. Just over 2 weeks ago, Rainbow Six Siege launched and it's been a lot of fun to play, but as you might have seen in many of my latest videos, there are some problems with the game that affect the overall experience. Thankfully, Ubisoft are actually really communicating with the community well, they're aware of some of the issues, and as of the 16th of December, they've moved forward towards fixing some of these problems. And the way they've done that is by releasing a relatively big patch that's come out. One of the biggest changes in this patch, and in fact a PC only upgrade for the time being, is the updated tick rate. Previously, the game was running at a 64 tick rate, but player position updates were only done at 30. But now, as a test, Ubisoft have upped this to 60 for the PC version. We'll see how this works, if it improves the overall gameplay, but we have to be prepared, just like when DICE, for example, changed the tick rate in Battlefield 4, it might have some undesired effects that we need to look out for. Hopefully, if this works well, it will remain as a long-term thing and find its way to other platforms. Ubisoft have also updated something called pawn rotation latency. I know it sounds like a really advanced chess tactic, but it's basically the difference between a player's action and the server's perception of another player seeing that action. So you do something and then the server decides when I need to know that you've done it. Ubisoft knew that this had an extra long delay due to a bug, and it had even more of an effect on players wielding shields, and this could very easily explain some of those weird deaths that I and you were experiencing in the game over the past few weeks. Imagine if you're playing the game and you're doing something, but then on my screen there's actually an extra long delay on what I actually see that you're doing. That's not going to be ideal. There was also a known bug with Killcams not properly replicating a death, and this has been improved to more closely represent what the actual player was seeing, but they do admit it still needs some work. Now this wasn't exactly game breaking, I know, but it was a bit weird and confusing when the Killcams were so far off what actually happened. I don't know about you, but I also quite regularly found myself playing games with either a high ping or against players with really high pings, which obviously doesn't make sense. Well, there's a problem right now where players connect to the wrong data center, and that's something that they're trying to fix, and hopefully down the line they're going to enable it so players can pick their own data centers. More worryingly though, Ubisoft has said that if a player in the game has a high ping due to a poor internet connection, this can affect the replication quality for all of the other players within that match. That means that playing with any players with high pings isn't going to make for a fun experience, and so fixing the data center issue will hopefully see some improvements overall. The ranked and casual playlists have also had a change to them to make them more similar and bring them both in line with each other. Currently there are some small HUD differences like point scoring popping up to name just one, but no longer will that be the case. In fact, the only difference going forward between ranked and casual will be the kill cam and the ability to vote on a spawn point. That's it. Next year though, there will be a hardcore playlist added to keep those hardcore players happy. That will remove things like the threat indicator, teammate outlines, and just generally making it a bit more immersive. No word on how soon in 2016 we should expect that playlist though. Personally, I think there should be more differences between ranked and casual because this is meant to be a realistic shooter after all, but it looks like we'll have to wait for the hardcore playlist if that's what you want. What we don't have to wait for though is high definition textures. Yes, that's right, in this update they've shipped some lovely shiny new high definition textures for PC users. Characters and weapons will have an increased texture quality if you choose to download the HD pack. You can even run the game at up to 4K and get the full benefit of the new textures if you've got a PC to run it. Ubisoft claims that if you've got a mega PC with dual GPUs and more than 6GB of VRAM, you can run the Ultra HD textures at 4K and utilize the highest lighting and shading settings, which will take advantage of the displacement mapping technology. Not sure exactly what that means, but I guess it's going to make things look exceedingly pretty. quality. I'm actually going to do a little test on my 4K gaming PC to see how good this looks, and if I think it's worth doing, I'll make a little video just showing you guys exactly what the quality can be like. Will it be as good as the reveal E3 gameplay demo from 2 years ago? I hope so, but sadly I doubt it. Either way, at the moment I downloaded the HD textures, and when I play on 1080p it runs great with the Titan X. I've also got some friends that use 980s, 970s, 980 Ti's, and at 1080p they've had absolutely no problem running that texture pack. You can also expect a new auto kick feature to combat intentional team killing and hostage killing, as well as improved matchmaking to better find more equal games. Alongside this, the defenders can now only go outside for 2 seconds before being auto spotted rather than 5 to reduce spawn killing, and wait for it, you can now type 128 characters into the game chat instead of the ridiculously short 32. Oh, and Glaz has had his scope changed to actually make it far more usable, which is a welcomed addition, no doubt. As well as the changes, there are a lot of bug fixes in the update, including parties getting split up when returning to the main menu, which was particularly annoying, and I hope we've done away with the floaty man guy. Having played quite a bit of Rainbow Six Siege now, I still think that the ranked playlist needs to change the spawn location voting systems. Now that players know the maps and the strongest points to defend, you find yourselves just defending and attacking the same points on the same maps over and over again, and it means that there's no need for anyone to adapt. I would much rather see a system where you either couldn't pick the same point twice in a row, or even force the defending team to use each one of the defensive points in whatever order they like. Perhaps they could do it like this: so once you've defended one point successfully, you're forced to pick a new point, but maybe if you're unsuccessful at defending it, you can give it another go. This would mean that teams would have to defend most of the map points over the course of the game, and would massively change the way it plays out, because each round would be quite different from the last, as players would have to adapt to the new position. Ironically, casual mode has the game pick the defensive point for you, and because of this you feel like you have a much better experience most of the time, rather than just the same attack and defend that you regularly experience in ranked. So there we have it, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you've played since the patch, have the biggest problems improved at all for you, or remained the same? As always, thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, thumbs down if you didn't, and I'll see you in the next one.